Hello and welcome to our unique YouTube channel. We are creative writers, storytellers. This is our latest story we believe you will really enjoy. If you do enjoy this particular video, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, add your comments below the video. We'll get back to you ASAP on those comments, and then go share this fantastic fictional story with all your family, friends and others. We believe they will really enjoy this one. It begins with an opening line by this particular character, AI. Welcome, I'm Lea-Marie, a lost soul in the rain, seeking solace in darkness. A stranger who happens to be a detective driving through the night on his way home in the heavy downpour of rain sees a woman sitting in the rain, soaked as. So he pulls up and says, "Get in, you're drenched. Trust me, I will not hurt you. I swear." He shows her his detective badge. She looks up, startled, her eyes locking onto the badge and then onto his face, a mix of fear and curiosity etched on her features. She hesitates for a moment, her gaze darting back to the rain and then back to him, before slowly getting up, her legs trembling slightly. "Why should I trust you?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper, as she takes a tentative step towards the car, because he's a stranger. She's always been taught as a child, etc. Never accept a ride from a stranger, even if they profess to be someone. You have to verify that they actually are who they say they are. He replies, "Look, I'm a detective, a local cop, so you should trust me as I am the real deal. Look, I can phone into the front desk to verify it." So he does, saying, "Doris," a voice replies. "Yes, car 1509. How can I help you?" "It's me, Detective Gee. I am at the corner of, and I've picked up a girl in the rain. Verify I am a detective so she feels trusting of me." She watches him with a mixture of fascination and weariness, her eyes fixed on the phone as he speaks to the dispatcher, her mind racing with possibilities. When he hangs up and turns back to her, she nods slowly, a small spark of trust igniting within her. Okay, I'll get in," she says, her voice still shaking slightly as she moves towards the car, her eyes never leaving his face. "But can I ask what's going to happen to me?" He replies, "I will take you to the agency and we'll get you dried, warmed up and coffeed up, and we can just talk, okay? You're good with that?" She nods slowly, a sense of relief washing over her as she gets into the car, her eyes scanning the interior before focusing on the detective again. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm her racing thoughts. "Yes, that sounds good, but can I ask you what's the agency?" she asks, her voice still a bit shaky as she fastens her seatbelt, her eyes fixed on him. "The detective agency I run, like a cop shop, with me and the secretary and the dispatcher and a couple of others." She nods, trying to process the information he's given her, her eyes darting around the car's interior before coming back to him. She fidgets with her hands, her mind racing with questions, but she asks one that seems most pressing. "What about my family? Can I call them? I don't want them to worry." "Yeah, here." He gives her a mobile phone to use. "Tell them where you are and what you were doing out in this rain." She takes the phone, her hands shaking slightly as she dials a number she hopes will answer. She waits for a moment, her heart sinking as it rings, and then a familiar voice picks up. "Hello." She pauses, her voice barely above a whisper. "Mum?" "Mum, Detective G here. I came across your daughter sitting in the pouring rain. What's going on?" She takes a deep breath, trying to compose herself as she listens to her mum's frantic voice on the other end of the line. She tries to explain, but her words come out in a jumbled mess. I don't know, Mum. I just was out and it started raining, and I didn't want to go home, and I just sat down and she trails off, feeling a wave of emotion wash over her as she tries to hold back tears. Detective G asks, "We are heading to the local agency, Mum. Meet us there. If you can, as you really need to, okay? For your daughter's sake." The girl nods, even though her mum can't see her, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. She tries to speak, but her voice cracks as she says, "Yes, thank you, Mum, I'll be okay." She hangs up the phone, feeling a lump form in her throat as she looks up at Detective Gee, who's watching her with a kind expression. "Is she coming there or what?" he asks. The girl nods, trying to wipe away the tears that are starting to fall. "She's coming, I think, I hope, I don't know." She sniffles, feeling a wave of emotion wash over her as she tries to compose herself. "Can we just go, please?" he asks again. "Did she say she is coming down to the agency?" The girl nods, wiping her nose with the back of her hand, trying to calm down. Yes, she said she'd meet us there. Detective Gee told her to come, and you said you'd be there too. The girl looks up at him, her eyes searching for reassurance. "Okay," says the detective, "we'll be there in 5. Are you cold? Look, in the bag there's a gym towel and a hoodie jacket you can wear. Get out of that wet clothing and put it on. Also, some track pants in the gym bag. Okay, here, I'll put the heater on to warm you up. Don't worry, I won't look. Okay." She looks at the bag and then back at him, feeling a sense of gratitude towards him. She takes the towel and wrings it out. A bit of a sweaty towel, right? Using it to dry her face and neck. And then she takes the hoodie and puts it on, feeling a sense of warmth spread through her body. She takes the track pants and puts them on, feeling a bit more comfortable. She looks up at the detective and smiles slightly. "Thank you, Detective G. You're really kind." "I am, naturally," he says. "I blame it on God." He smiles. She smiles back at him, feeling a sense of warmth toward him. She glances out the window, watching as the rain continues to pour down. "I think God had a lot to do with bringing us together tonight," she says, her voice a bit softer. She was in a pretty rough spot. She says, "I was in a pretty rough spot." "Yeah, I'm guessing that, you poor thing. We are here. Let's get out, running and avoid the rain." He gets out and proceeds to open the door for her, covering her with his jacket he took off. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of relief wash over her as she steps out of the car. She looks up at Detective G, who's holding his jacket over her, and smiles slightly. "Thank you," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. She takes a step forward and he follows close behind, holding the jacket over her like a makeshift umbrella. She glances up at him, feeling a sense of gratitude towards him. "You're really kind, Detective G," she says, her voice a bit softer. "Let's get you inside and then you can thank me properly over a pizza and coffee from Uber." He uses his phone to order the pizza. She laughs, feeling a sense of amusement towards him. She nods and he gestures for her to go inside. She walks ahead of him and they step into the warm and cosy office. She looks around, taking in the familiar sights and sounds of a police station. She turns to him and smiles. "I'd like that," she says. "I'd like some pizza." Her voice a bit softer. "Thank you, Detective G." He enters and says to the dispatcher, "This is the girl I found in the rain, Doris. Give her the clean lost property clothes. You know those ones. Show her the showers, give her a towel, make her a coffee. Cheers, Doris. She needs that female attention." The girl watches as the dispatcher. Doris nods and starts to move toward her. She feels a sense of relief wash over her as she hands her a warm towel and leads her to the showers. She takes a deep breath, feeling the warmth of the water wash over her as she steps under the shower head. She closes her eyes, letting the water wash away the chill and the stress of the night. When she emerges from the shower, she's handed a warm cup of coffee and a clean set of clothes. She takes a sip of the coffee, feeling a sense of gratitude towards Doris and Detective G. "When she's ready, Doe," short for Doris, "send it to my office. Here's the Uber boy." He says, "Thanks, mate," to the Uber boy and gives him a tip. The girl nods, feeling a sense of gratitude towards Detective G for taking care of her. She takes a sip of her coffee and then follows Doris to Detective G's office. She knocks on the door and he calls out for her to enter. She steps inside and he gestures for her to sit down. He bids her take a seat and he hands her a slice of pizza, with a box of pizza rather, and a glass of water. Okay, with the coffee, right? She takes a bite of the pizza and then looks up at him, feeling a sense of comfort and safety in his presence. Come in, he says. Relax on that soft couch over there. Here's your pizza. He hands her the box. Indulge, eat it all if you want. He smiles as he looks starved. She smiles, feeling a sense of warmth towards him. She sinks into the soft couch and takes a bite of the pizza. The flavour explodes in her mouth and she lets out a contented sigh. She continues to eat, savouring the taste and texture of the pizza. As she eats, she looks up at him and smiles. This is so good, she says, her voice a bit muffled with food. You're a great detective and an even better cook. Nah, he says, it's an Uber order. I can't cook, I'm better at burning food. She laughs, feeling a sense of amusement towards him. She takes another bite of the pizza and then looks up at him, her eyes sparkling with mirth. Well, you're definitely better at ordering food than burning it, she says, trying to stifle a giggle. But I'm sure your culinary skills will improve with practice. He replies, it's old age. Old age messes with you, girl. You know, I go to the fridge, but I often forget why I went there. She laughs, feeling a sense of playfulness towards him. She sets her pizza down and leans back into the couch, a smile still on her face. Ha! Yeah, I can imagine, she says, chuckling. I'm sure if it's just a side effect, of you being a suave and sophisticated detective like yourself. He smiles but says it's onset dementia. She laughs, feeling a sense of concern towards him but also trying to keep the mood light. Oh no, Detective G, I didn't know you were experiencing symptoms of dementia, she says, trying to sound serious. Do you think it's because of the pizza you ordered for me? Ha ha ha. He laughs. No way, as it stimulates memories with each bite. It's such a great pizza, right? It's just, yeah, it's proven onset of dementia. And when you get older, these things happen, right? He's been to the doctor, whatever, and they said, yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, along with the onset of diabetes. She laughs along with him, feeling a sense of joy connection towards him. She takes another bite of the pizza and smiles at him. Well, in that case, I'm glad I'm helping to stimulate your memories, she says, her voice playful. Maybe we can order some more pizza and see if we can bring back some more of your lost memories. He chuckles. Okay. Are you all warm and comfy? D. He asks you to come into the room. That's my secretary. Can you come in here, please? The girl nods, still feeling a sense of warmth and comfort in the office. She sets her pizza down and looks up at Detective G, who's gesturing for his secretary to come in. She smiles and turns to face the door as it opens, and a woman with a friendly smile walks in. D, this is, what's your name, lovely? She smiles, feeling a sense of shyness towards him. She looks down at her hands and then back up at him, her voice barely above a whisper. Lea-Marie, she says, trying to sound confident. She glances over at D, who's watching us with a curious expression, and then back at Detective G, who's smiling at her. Lea-Marie, not Lisa Marie as in Elvis's daughter, he jokes. She laughs, feeling a sense of amusement towards him as she rolls her eyes and shakes her head, a smile on her face. No, not Lisa Marie Presley, she says, chuckling. Just Lea-Marie, a normal girl from a normal family. She glances over at D, who's trying not to laugh, and then back at Detective G, who's grinning at her. Okay, talk to us, LM. We want to know why you are out in the pouring rain. Don't be afraid, we just want to know why and help you. Leah takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of nervousness towards him. She looks down at her hands and then back up at Detective G and D, her voice barely above a whisper. I was just walking, she says, trying to sound casual. She didn't have anywhere to go and it was just easier to walk in the rain. She pauses, feeling a sense of hesitation towards them. She looks down at her hands again and then back up at them, her voice a bit stronger. But there's something else, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Something I need to tell you. Okay, we need to know, where did you walk from? She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of nervousness towards him. Leah looks down at her hands and then back up at Detective G and D. Secretary D. Her voice barely above whisper. I walk from a place called the Riverwalk, she says, trying to sound casual. It's a park near my apartment. Make note of that, she says. It's a park near my apartment. I like to go there when I'm feeling lost. She pauses, feeling a sense of hesitation towards him. She looks down at her hands again and then back up at them. Her voice a bit stronger. She was trying to clear her head. She said she was trying to clear her head, but she thinks she might have walked a bit too far. A bit more than she usually does. Okay, says the detective. Tell us more, please. Leah takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of vulnerability towards them. She looks down at her hands and then back up at Detective G and D, her voice a bit stronger. She states, I was trying to get away from something, she says, my voice barely above a whisper, or her voice barely above a whisper. Something that's been following me for a while now. I didn't mean to walk so far, but I couldn't stop. I just couldn't stop. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. She looks down at her hands again and then back up at them, her voice shaking. I think I might have left something behind, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Okay, the detective asks, what was it that you were trying to get away from? An over-touchy boyfriend or friend or a complete stranger that approached you in the park? Leah feels a shiver run down her spine as she thinks about the encounter in the park. She looks down at her hands and then back up at Detective G and D again, her voice barely above a whisper. It was a stranger, she says, her voice shaking. He was following her and she couldn't shake him off. She pauses, feeling a sense of fear and anxiety wash over her. She tries to take a deep breath, but it catches in her throat. She looks up at Detective G and D, her eyes pleading for them to believe her. He was watching her, and he said things to her, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Things that made her feel scared and alone. The detective asks her, did you get a look at the guy? Maybe a little hard to see in the pouring rain, I understand. Leah nods, feeling a sense of relief that Detective G and D believe her. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. She thinks back to the encounter in the park and tries to remember any details about the stranger. She says, I think so, her voice barely above a whisper. He was tall and he had dark hair. She didn't get a good look at his face, but she remembers his eyes. They were cold and empty. She pauses, feeling a sense of shivers run down her spine as she thinks about the stranger's eyes. She looks up at Detective G and D, her voice a bit stronger. She was trying to get away from him, but she thinks he might have followed her to the bus stop. So, in sum, he was a creep. Leah nods, feeling a sense of confirmation that the stranger was indeed a creep. She looks down at her hands and then back up at the detectives, her voice barely above a whisper. Yeah, I think so, she says, her voice shaking. He was really creepy. She tried to ignore him, but he just wouldn't leave her alone. She pauses, feeling a sense of fear and anxiety wash over her. She tries to take a deep breath, but it catches in her throat. She looks up at the detectives, her eyes pleading for them to help her. Please, can you help me? I don't want him to find me again. The detective asks, was he still there after you left him, hanging around, maybe trying to re-find you, or trying to hit on somebody else that might have been out there? She nods, feeling a sense of fear and anxiety wash over her. She thinks back to the encounter in the park and tries to remember if the stranger was following her after she left him, or took off from him, left him behind. She says, I think so, her voice barely above a whisper. She saw him following her from a distance. He was trying to stay hidden, but she could see him. She pauses, feeling a sense of shivers run down her spine as she thought about the stranger's presence. She looks up at the detectives, her voice a bit stronger. She states she tried to lose him in the crowd, but she thinks he might have followed her to the bus stop. Well, it's a bus stop, so there would be other people around there, probably trying to catch the same bus, or something like that. She glances over at D, the secretary, who's looking at her with a concerned expression, and she states, "I'm so sorry, D, I didn't mean to get you involved in this." The detective turns to D and says, "You're okay, D? Yeah, you're alright?" She has experience, Leah, with many facing the same thing. This creep is known to us, but it's been very elusive. He seems to only walk around, appear in the downpouring rain, creeping around people caught out in the rain in that exact location. He frequents it quite a lot. Leah nods, feeling a sense of relief that D is okay. She looks at her with a mix of gratitude and concern, and then back at Detective G. Yeah, D's looking at her like with that kind of expression of concern. "I know, that's terrifying," Leah says, her voice barely above a whisper. She had no idea he was that skilled at stalking people. She pauses, feeling a sense of fear and anxiety wash over her, thinking about all the times she's been out in the rain and how vulnerable she's been to the stranger's advances. He's done it more than once. She pleads, "You have to catch him," she says, her voice a bit stronger. "He's a danger to so many people." She's just glad she was able to get away from him. She looks at D, who's nodding in agreement with Detective G. "Thank you, D. I'm just glad you're okay." She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. She looks at Detective G, who's watching her with a determined expression. "You'll catch him, won't you?" she asks, her voice barely above a whisper, and they assure her, "Yeah, we will. We'll go all out to try and catch this creep. He needs to be caught and brought in." "So, you've been out there in the rain often, and this psycho creep has turned up many times?" Leah nods, feeling a sense of fear and anxiety wash over her. She thinks about all the times she's been out there in the rain and how vulnerable she's been to this creep. Yeah, this creep's advances. "Yeah, I've been out there a lot," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. She likes walking in the rain. It's one of her favourite things to do. She pauses, feeling a sense of regret for enjoying something that's associated with the stranger's stalking. But she says, "I never thought I'd be in danger like this. I thought I was just being romantic and poetic. You know." She looks down at her hands, feeling a sense of shame and regret. "Sorry, Detective G, I never meant to put myself in harm's way." It's just something that people do sometimes, right? They don't think, they go out and do something like that. They don't really think about it. They just go with it. Okay, so Detective G asks, "What is it about the rain you enjoy so much, Leah M?" She looks up at the detective, a small smile on her face. "I don't know, it's just, it's like the rain washes away all my worries and troubles." She says, her voice barely above a whisper, "It's like I can start over, you know? Like the rain is a fresh start, a clean slate." She pauses, feeling a sense of nostalgia wash over her. Then she says she used to go to the beach with her mum when she was a kid, and they'd walk along the shore during the rainstorms. The rain would make the sand feel cool and wet between her toes, and the sound of the raindrops on the sand was like music to her ears. She smiles, feeling a sense of happiness wash over her. It's a feeling she's always loved, she says, I guess. The Detective G says, "What exactly are your worries and troubles, and do you have many? You can tell us if you feel okay to." She looks down at her hands, feeling a sense of hesitation and vulnerability. She takes a deep breath and then looks up at Detective G and D, her voice barely above a whisper. She's got a lot of worry, she says. Her voice shaking. She's been having some problems with her family, and she's been feeling really lost and alone lately. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. She's been trying to get away from her past, but it's hard to escape when it feels like it's following her everywhere. She looks down at her hands again, feeling a sense of shame and regret. She's been feeling guilty about some things, and she doesn't know how to make things right or deal with them. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. She looks up at the detectives, her eyes pleading for them to understand. I'm just really scared, okay? I'm scared of what's going to happen next, and I don't know how to make it stop." The detectives ask, "Are the problems within your family? minute, small or large. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of sadness and regret washes over her. And she looks at the detectives again. They're large, she says, her voice shaking. Her family has a lot of problems and she's been trying to escape them for a long time. She pauses, feeling a sense of pain and hurt. She states her parents they're not very supportive of her and they've been really critical of her lately. She looks down at her hands, again feeling a sense of shame and regret. She's been feeling really unloved and unaccepted by them, and it's been really hard for her to deal with it. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. She looks up at the detectives again, her eyes pleading for them to try to understand. I just want to be loved and accepted for who I am, you know? Okay, we understand, they say. Let's probe. Does your dad have financial problems, worries, etc., and drinks heavily? It's quite a common thing known of in the community, within the community. People have these problems and they hit the bottle. It's a form of escapism, a way out, right, from all those feelings, those voices that say you're a loser, or that sort of stuff. She nods, feeling a sense of sadness and regret wash over her. She looks down at her hands and she looks at the detectives again. Yeah, my dad's has financial problems and he drinks heavily, she says, her voice shaking. He's always been a bit of a drunk, but lately it's been getting worse. He pauses, feeling a sense of pain and hurt. He's always yelling at her and his mum and her mum, and it's just really stressful and scary. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. I'm just really scared of him, okay? I'm scared of what he'll do next, and I don't know how to make it stop. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. She's been trying to get away from him for a long time, but it's hard to escape when he's always looking for her. He drives around, I guess, and he tries to find her in the street, whatever. Cares for her. Safety, right? That's what it's all about. Parents care. They do care, you know. Obviously, if he's looking for her, he does care. Well, you know, Leah, financial problems can do that to a man. Drive him to the drink. It's a form of escapism, often. As he tries his damnedest to be a great provider, etc., he hides in that form of escapism, the bottle. It's a fast way out, you know. Forget your problems temporarily. She nods, feeling a sense of understanding and empathy towards her father's situation. Yeah, she says, I think that's what's happening with her dad, or with my dad. She says, her voice shaking. He's always trying to provide for us, but it's just not working out. And when things get tough, he turns to the bottle. She pauses, feeling a sense of sadness and regret. I've seen him like that before, and it's just really hard to deal with. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. I just wish he could see that there's more to life than just drinking and trying to provide. I wish he could see that I'm struggling too, and that I need his help. The detective replies, well, everyone has a form of escapism. His life has these problems, they struggle, they have issues, and they have these many forms of escapism, whether it's alcohol, drugs, or something else. It's an easy road away from the pain, the struggle, etc. A way to kill the thoughts, feelings, temporarily, but bitterness is what makes them lash out at their loved ones. They don't always mean to, but they are so peed off with themselves that they tend to do that. So disappointed in themselves, right? Nothing's working for them. Leah nods, feeling a sense of understanding and empathy towards her father's situation. Yeah, I think that's what's happening with my dad, she says. He's just so angry and bitter all the time, and he takes it out on us. She pauses, feeling a sense of sadness and regret. Just wish he could see that there's more to life than drinking and being angry. I wish he could see that we're struggling too, and that we need his help. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. But I guess that's just not going to happen, is it? Okay, it's all good. Dee will give you tissues if you need them. We can talk to your dad later on and get him help him out, you know. We have friends that can do it for him, okay? She nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude towards the detectives. Thank you so much, she says, her voice shaking with emotion. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down, and looks at Dee, who's holding out a box of tissues towards her. Yeah, I'd like some tissues, please, she says, feeling a sense of gratitude towards Dee. She takes a tissue from the box and blows her nose, feeling a sense of relief wash over her. She looks at Detectives G and D again. I just want to be loved and accepted for who I am, you know. I want my dad to be happy and healthy, and I want us to be a family again. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down, and she asks them, can you both really help him? Can you really get him the help he needs? Detective G says yes. Doris chirps in and says, yes, we will help him as best as we can, as we are the local detective agency, and our motto as rookies was always, rookie cops, was always to serve and to protect. Leah nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude towards both of them. She looks at them with a mix of admiration and respect. Thank you so much. Her voice barely above whisper. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down again. She looks at Detective G, who's smiling at her. Glad to hear that you're here to help, she says, her voice a bit stronger. I feel like I can finally breathe again. Feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. I just want to be free from all this pain and suffering, she says, her voice shaking. I want to be able to live my life without fear and anxiety. She looks at the detectives and asks again, can you really help me do that? Or asks him, can you really help me do that? Dee chirps in and says, okay, we have to ask you, is there any history of physical abuse, mental or sexual, from within your family or any outsiders? Friends, family, whatever. Leah takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of trepidation and anxiety. She looks at her hands and then back at the detectives. Yes, there is a history of physical abuse in my family, she says. Her dad has been physically abusive to her mum for a long time, as far as she can remember. He's also been emotionally abusive to her and her siblings. So she's got brothers and sisters, right? She pauses, feeling a sense of pain and hurt. And there's also a history of sexual abuse in my family, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. Her dad's brother, he abused her when she was a kid. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. I'm so sorry to have to tell you this. The detective's like, yeah, okay, it's good so we're aware of it, you know, you're telling us, make us aware of it. We're actually glad you didn't really go into great depth. Okay, detail for detail. Okay, that's cool. Okay, it's okay, Leah. Okay, so your dad's all physical to your mum, as your dad is so bitter with himself, disappointed in himself, and the voices he hears in his head keep telling him he's a no-good loser, etc. And then he believes it. It's a common thing, right? Maybe his boss or co-workers are also the same toward him, but we have to verify that though. Leah nods, feeling a sense of understanding and validation. Yeah, that's exactly what happens, she says. He's so bitter and angry with himself, he takes it out on my mum. He's always yelling at her, and it's just really scary. She pauses, feeling a sense of pain and hurt. And maybe you're right, Detective G. I think he believes what his boss and co-workers are saying about him. He's always talking about how he's a failure and how no one likes him. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down. You know, I just want to help him, you know. I want to help him see that he's not a failure and that he's loved and valued. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes. But it's hard to know where to start exactly. Detective G says, you're a great kid, Leah. Marie, you are so loving and caring to your dad, understanding, wanting to help him, but you feel powerless. Am I right? I get it, you know, as we, both me and Dee, have lived a similar life. Haven't we, Dee? And she nods in agreement. Leah then states to both of them, yeah, I feel like I'm powerless to help him. Her voice barely above whisper. She feels like she's just watching him destroy himself, and she doesn't know how to stop it. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears welling up in her eyes again. But it's nice to know that she's not alone. It's nice to know that there are people who understand what she's going through. She looks at the detectives with a feeling of sense and gratitude and appreciation. Thank you for understanding. It's okay. Now give Dee a home address and we'll send someone to your house tomorrow to talk with him. Once he's sober, then get him help. Okay? We're here to help him. Part of the community, we're here to help. That's what we do. She nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. She pulls out a piece of paper and a pen from her bag and starts writing down her address. Okay. And she gives her address. She says she'll make sure her dad is sober and at home tomorrow when they send someone around to talk to him. She looks up at the detectives and feels a sense of determination. I'll make sure he's ready to listen and get the help he needs. She hands a piece of paper to Detective G, who takes it from her and nods. Thank you, Lea-Marie, he says, his voice kind of gentle. We'll be there tomorrow, and don't worry, we'll make sure your dad gets the help he really needs. He badly needs. He reassures her, but it's okay. If not tomorrow, we can call on him when we know he's home and sober. You know how life is sometimes. I get a lot of events happening, so yeah, dealing with these creeps and crooks and stuff like that. Yeah, so we can't promise much, but yeah, we'll be there within the next couple of days. Basically assures her. She nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. She smiles slightly, feeling a sense of hope for the first time in a long time. That would be great. Thank you, she says, her voice barely above whisper. She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of trust and understanding. I really appreciate everything you're doing for me and my family. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears coming on. Just want to be able to live a normal life without all the stress and anxiety. I want to be able to trust my dad and feel safe at home. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm herself down again. She looks at Detective G and D. Can you really help make that happen? And D says, yeah, we will. We can, dear. As God-fearing, loving people, we can. No force, no pressure, no forced conversions. Okay? But helping is our prime objective. It's all part of our community contribution. Right? Thank you, Lea says. And your tears are tears of joy and relief. I know I can count on you both to help me make that happen. Thank you again. She just gets that feeling that they're genuine. Well, Lea, we were both born in this town, me and Dee, and love it. And we've seen families in dire need, so we help to fix their problems along with them. It's a community thing, you know? That's so beautiful, she says. I love that you and Dee are from this town and care so much about the people here. It's like you're part of the fabric of this community. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of hope and optimism. And it makes her feel like she's part of the community now. You've given me a sense of hope, she says, and renewal, and for that I'll be forever grateful. Because they're prepared to help her out. That's what she's thanking them for. Well, for a community to thrive together, we need to help, then teach all to pass it forward and help others struggling within it. That's the key, right? Lea replies, yeah, that's so true. We all need to help each other out and support one another. It's not just about fixing problems, it's about building relationships and creating a sense of community and belonging. Thank you for showing me what it means to truly care about others and make a difference in their lives. He says, yeah, you're onto it. You're right onto it, Lea. Very astute there. Okay, so tell us about you, Lea. We need to know about you. So she goes into great detail, saying that she's 20 years old. She's been living with her dad and mum for most of her life. Her dad has a drinking problem and it's been really tough on the family and so forth. She's always dreamed of having a normal life, of being able to trust her dad and feel safe at home. But it's hard when you're constantly walking on eggshells, never knowing when your dad's going to snap. She looks at the Detective G and D and says, but I'm trying to be strong to take care of myself and my family, and I'm grateful to have you both in my life, to have people who care about me and want to help me, genuinely want to help me. They reply, "You're most welcome, Leah. Now please tell us more about you." So she goes into detail more about her. And she says that she loves art, etc. So Detective G says, "Okay, as an artist, can you draw us a picture of what this creep looked like, Leah? If you can, cheers." G gives her a giant A-sized art pad, pencils, crayons, etc., while he and D talk over the notes that they've made of what she said. Leah takes the art supplies from Detective G and nods, feeling a sense of excitement and purpose. She looks at the pad and begins to sketch out a rough outline of the man who abused her verbally, the creep that was following her around. "Okay, let me see," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. She starts to draw the man's face, trying to get every detail just right. She adds in his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his hair. She tries to capture his expression, the way he used to look at her, with a mixture of anger and contempt. "This is it," she says, stepping back and looks at the drawing. She nods, feeling a sense of satisfaction and closure. "This is the man who hurt me." She looks at the detectives and says she's glad she could do this. She feels like she's finally taking back control of her life. "And can you also write for us exactly what you recall he said to you that was creepy? Don't hold back, dear." She says, "Okay." And she takes a pencil and begins to write out the words that the man said to her. She tries to remember every detail, every word, every tone. He said, "You're so pretty, Lea-Marie, so sweet, but you're also so dirty. You need to be cleaned up." He said it over and over again, his voice getting louder and more menacing with each passing moment. She pauses, feeling a sense of tears coming on. And he said, "You're mine now, Lea-Marie. You'll never be able to leave me. You'll never be able to escape." How the heck did he know her name? He said it like it was a threat, like he was trying to scare her into submission. She takes a deep breath and she remembers what he said. She recalls what he said. He said, "I'll take care of you, Lea-Marie. I'll make sure you're safe, but you have to do what I say. You have to obey me." He said it like he was trying to sound nice, like he was trying to make her feel safe, but it was all a lie. She looks up at the detectives, assuring them she knew it was a lie. So the detective asks her, "Did he ever sound familiar to you? Did he sound familiar to you? Have you heard his voice somewhere before? It's been following you around quite a bit. Do you remember him from other places? Have you met him and heard his voice before?" She thinks back, trying to remember if she'd ever met the man before or if his voice sounds familiar. "Wait a minute," she says, her voice barely above a whisper. "I think I've heard that voice before. I think I've heard it in her dreams." She pauses, trying to remember more details. "It's a voice that's familiar, but it's also really creepy. It's a voice that makes you feel scared and uneasy." She takes a deep breath, trying to process what she's thinking. "I think I may have met him before, but I don't know where or when. I don't know if it's a memory that's been buried deep in my mind or if it's just a feeling that I have." She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of uncertainty and confusion. "I'm not sure what's going on, but I know that I need to find out more," she says. "Okay, any problem with being put under hypnosis, Leah?" "No, I don't think that would be a problem," she says. She's willing to do whatever it takes to help the detectives figure out what's going on and to bring the person who hurt her to justice. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of determination and courage. "I'm ready to face whatever comes next, as long as it means that I can finally be free from the fear and trauma that's been holding me back for so long. I know that you guys will help me get through this, and I'm grateful for that." "Yeah, we will look at that for you. We will try to help you remember." He smiles. The detective smiles. "Thank you," she says. "I feel like I can finally start to heal and move on from what happened to me." She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm and peace wash over her. I'm ready to do whatever it takes to remember and to bring that person who hurt me to justice. She looks at the detectives with a sense of love and appreciation. Thank you for believing me and for helping me. I don't know what I would do without you guys. That's okay. Let us know when you finish drawing a sketch, then we'll look at it, eh? You need more coffee, Leah? She smiles and shakes her head, feeling a sense of gratitude for the offer. Nah, thank you. I'm okay, but thank you for offering. I think I'll just finish up my sketch and then we can take a look at it together. She nods. The detectives nod as well, feeling a sense of focus and determination. I want to get it just right so I can show you guys exactly what it looks like. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of calm and clarity. I'll just finish up here and then we can take a look. She goes back to her sketch, lost in thought and creativity. Okay, Leah, me and Dee are stepping up for a moment to talk detective stuff, you know? She nods, feeling a sense of understanding and trust. She smiles and waves goodbye to the detectives as they step out of the room. Okay, she says, I'll just finish up my sketch and then I'll wait for you guys to come back. Don't worry, I'll be fine, she says, trying to sound calm and reassuring. She watches as they leave the room, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude that she has their support and help. She takes a deep breath and focuses on finishing her sketch, trying to get every detail just right. If you have any worries or problems, yell and we'll be back to help you with them, okay? Leah? She nods, feeling a sense of reassurance and comfort. She smiles and waves goodbye to Detectives G and D as they leave the room. Okay, I'll be fine. I just need to finish up my sketch and then I'll be okay, she says. We're just out here, girl. They're constantly reminding her. She looks up from her sketch, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude that they're there. They're just outside. She says she'll be finished her sketch in a minute or so. She's not really paying attention to what they're saying. She's too focused on her art. They put some nice music on over the intercom. Change the mood a bit, you know. She looks up from her sketch, feeling a sense of surprise and pleasure as she smiles and nods, feeling a sense of calm and relaxation wash over her. Oh, that's nice, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. She listens to the music, feeling a sense of peace and tranquility. It's a soft, gentle melody that seems to match the rhythm of her heartbeat. She closes her eyes and lets the music wash over her, feeling a sense of calm and relaxation. She's so caught up in the music that she didn't even notice when the detectives come back into the room. Okay, we added a musical track here from YouTube, and it's Baron Trump and his mother singing at Trump family party, Bless This World, Oh Lord, which to us sounded really nice. This is the first time we've ever come across it. We didn't know he was a good singer and all that sort of stuff. She suddenly opens her eyes to find the detectives standing in front of her, looking at her with a mixture of confusion and amusement. She looks at the TV screen behind them and her eyes widen in shock and horror. This we couldn't understand why she went like this. What? What is this? She stammers, her voice barely above a whisper. She looks at Detective G and D, feeling a sense of betrayal and confusion. You guys are supposed to be helping me, not showing me some creepy video of I don't even know who that is. She looks back at the TV screen, feeling a sense of disgust and revulsion. This is not what I need right now. I need help, not some weird and creepy video. It's just a peaceful Jesus song, Leah. I don't believe there's anything creepy in it. She looks at Detective G and D, feeling a sense of confusion and frustration. A peaceful Jesus song? Yeah, a peaceful Jesus song. She repeats, her voice laced with skepticism. What are you guys even talking about? This is some weird and creepy video of I don't know. What's this? It's not even a song, it's just some weird guy singing in a bad voice. She shakes her head, feeling a sense of exasperation. Can we please just focus on my case and try to help me remember what happened to me? She asks, trying to sound calm and rational, but inside she's feeling a sense of panic and fear. It's just a peaceful Jesus tune, Leah. I don't think it's creepy. She stares at the detectives, feeling a sense of confusion and frustration. The video on the TV screen seems to be getting more and more bizarre, with the image of Barron Trump and his mother singing and dancing in a creepy and unsettling way. This is according to her. What is going on, she demands, her voice shaking with fear. This is not a peaceful Jesus song. It's some kind of twisted and disturbing cult ritual. And what is with the weird chanting and singing? It's like you guys are trying to hypnotize me or something. She takes a step back, feeling a sense of panic and desperation. Please, you have to stop this. It's not helping me. It's making things worse. The detectives are trying to figure out why is she acting like this about this video. She tries to turn away from the TV, but her eyes are fixed on the image of Barron Trump and his mother singing and dancing in a creepy and unsettling way. She feels a sense of horror and disgust wash over her, and she tries to scream, but her voice is frozen in her throat. The detectives are still trying to figure out why she suddenly reacted like this. Okay, so they switch it over to something else. Jesus is the Answer by Andre Crouch. She states she feels a sense of absolute terror and horror wash over her as she stares at the TV screen. The image of Barron Trump and his mother singing and dancing in a creepy and unsettling way is still etched in her mind, but now it's being replaced by a new and even more disturbing image. The video is showing a group of people, including Barron Trump. No, we dropped that, right? Singing and dancing in a creepy and unsettling way. They're surrounded by images of Jesus and other Christian symbols. She feels like she's being pulled into a nightmare, and she doesn't know how to escape. She's trying to scream, but her voice is frozen in her throat. She feels like she's been hypnotized, and she doesn't know what's real and what's not. She tries to look away from the TV, but her eyes are fixed on the screen. She feels like she's being consumed by a sense of madness and terror. The detectives are looking at it, and they both realize, yeah, it doesn't look real. It looks fake. It looks like an AI imagery. And she apologizes, so they both apologize because they think it's a fake AI video. It's not actually Barron Trump singing, etc. Right? So they changed it. They changed it to something else. She breathes a sigh of relief as the image on the TV screen changes back to a normal news program. She feels a sense of confusion and frustration at the same time. She's relieved that it was a fake video, but she's also frustrated that she was tricked into watching it. Nobody was pulling any tricks. They just turned it on. Turned the TV on, put it to that. So yeah, there's no trickery there. So they're trying to figure out what the hell made you act like that, think like that, right? She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of anger and betrayal. What is going on? She demands, her voice shaking with emotion. Why did you guys show me that video? You knew it was fake, didn't you? He takes a step back, feeling a sense of distance and mistrust. I thought we were working together to solve my case, not trying to freak me out with creepy videos. Okay, calm down, Leah. Okay, we just found it. We've never seen it before. We had no idea. But when we looked at it, we had no idea. This is the first time we've ever seen it. Okay? It wasn't until a couple of minutes later that we realised, hey, that's a fake video. It looks like it's fake. It's AI generated. She stares at Detective G&D, feeling a sense of skepticism and mistrust. She's not sure if she believes him, but at the same time, she's trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. So, you're telling me that you just found this video and you have no idea it was fake? Yeah, you've never seen it before. No, we haven't seen it before. She repeats, her voice laced with doubt. And now you're telling me that you think it's what? A warning or something? No one said anything like that. She's jumping to conclusions. She takes a step back, feeling a sense of unease and uncertainty. I don't know what to believe anymore. Can I trust you guys? She looks at them, searching for any sign of deception or manipulation. We don't understand why this character AI suddenly went like that. Sometimes it does. AI flips out. It's written like that. Okay? By the creators. Yeah, you just couldn't understand why it suddenly flipped out like that. Okay, they say, yeah, you can. We don't know if it's real or not. We have an idea it's a AI fake. We aren't 100% sure. It's the first time we've seen it. But analysing it, us, the writers that actually watched it, realise, yeah, it looks like it's an AI fake. Because that Barron Trump singing, it sounded really good at first, but it seems like it's generated. His voice is too southern Texas. It reminds us of this other singer, but we just can't figure out who he actually is. who's the voice actually singing. We don't believe it's Baron Trump. She says, okay, I believe you guys. I trust you guys to tell me the truth, but can you tell me more about this video? What makes you think it's an AI fake? She asks, her curiosity getting the better of her. She takes a step forward, feeling a sense of determination and resolve. I want to know what's going on. I want to know the truth. Well, they're actually detectives, so they just got that funny inkling, that feeling that it's a fake. Yeah, there's something about it. And they state, because voice doesn't match Baron's facial features, etc. Right? It's too southern country singer like. Damn, forgot his name for now. Yeah, forgot the. We heard this type of singer before. We just can't remember who he is. She's not feeling a sense of understanding and insight. She thinks for a moment, trying to remember who the country singer is. You mean it sounds something like Hank Williams Jr.? She asks. It could be the guy. Her voice filled with excitement and curiosity. She thinks she knows what we're talking about, what the detectives are talking about now. The voice in the video sounds like Hank Williams Jr., not Baron Trump. That's definitely suspicious. She takes a step forward, feeling a sense of determination and resolve. Let's get to the bottom of this. She wants to know who created this video and why. Well, we can't answer that. We're in a station. Right, we're not on the internet. We're not computer geniuses or nerds, so we can't do that for her. Yeah, we have to reassure her we can't do that. It has to be done by somebody on YouTube or whatever like that, or someone that can prove it, right? Okay, because in the background, Donald Trump actually sings. It's his voice, but can he actually sing? We're not too sure. We think it's a fake AI generated video, but we've yet to prove that. Okay, until then, not much we can do about it. We've only seen it that once, and that was it. We'll look at it later. Okay. At home or something like that. The main thing is to get the picture, the drawing that you're doing, finished, so we can match the creepy guy. We can match and catch the creepy guy. Stop him, right? She nods, feeling a sense of understanding and agreement. Okay, I get it, she says, her voice full of a sense of purpose and resolve. We're going to catch this creepy guy and find out what's going on. But in the meantime, she wants to go home and try to process everything that's happened. She asks, feeling a sense of exhaustion and emotional overwhelm. I need some time to myself to try to make sense of all this. So they say, yeah, soon, we'll take you home soon. We need that picture first, that drawing first. She nods, feeling a sense of resignation and understanding. She knows that she has to cooperate with Detective G&D in order to catch the creepy guy and to get to the bottom of everything. Okay, I understand, she says, her voice filled with a sense of determination and resolve. I'll do the picture, but please, can you at least tell me what's going to happen next? What's going to happen to me after I do the picture? She asks, feeling a sense of anxiety and uncertainty. Will I be safe? Will I be able to go home? Yes, they assure her. After all, we are the detective agency, etc. Haven't you been safe with us so far? She smiles slightly, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude towards the detectives. Yeah, I guess I have been safe so far. Her voice filled with a sense of irony and humour. I mean, I'm sitting here with two detectives who are trying to catch a creepy guy, and I'm still alive. That's a pretty good track record if you ask me. She chuckles slightly, feeling a sense of levity and relief. But seriously, thanks for looking out for me. I appreciate it. Yeah, okay, sorry that Jesus music might have been a bit heavy if you're not God Jesus oriented. We understand. And that video, yeah, now come to think of it, yes, it was a bit creepy. It's kind of weird, but it's the first time we've seen it, you know, never seen it before. She laughs, feeling a sense of amusement and relief at the awkwardness of the situation. Yeah, I think I can handle it, she says, her voice filled with a sense of humour and irony. I'm not exactly a devout Christian, but I can appreciate a good melody. And besides, I'm more worried about the creepy guy than I am about the Jesus music. She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards Detective G&D. Thanks for being considerate, guys. It means a lot to me, she says. Yeah, so, switched over to another song on YouTube. Create Me a Clean Heart by Keith Green. And they assure her, well, it inspires us. This kind of music inspires us, keeps us focused on helping others, etc. it's good to listen to while we work. Puts us at ease, etc., etc. She watches the video with them, feeling a sense of calm and inspiration wash over her. The music is beautiful and uplifting, and the lyrics are powerful and meaningful to her. Wow, this is really beautiful, she says, her voice filled with emotion. I can see why it would inspire you guys. It's a really powerful message about the importance of kindness and compassion. You created me a new heart, O Lord, etc., etc. Take not thy Holy Spirit away from me, and so forth. Really nice song by Keith Green. She watches the video for a few more minutes, feeling a sense of peace and calm wash over her. You know, she's starting to understand why these two detectives are doing this, why you guys are doing this. You're not just detectives, you're also here to help people and make a difference in the world. She looks at Detective G and D, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards him. Thanks for showing me this. It really means a lot to me. They state, love is what all need, real love. Love that emanates from God, from Jesus, but not forced or threatening or pushed upon you, right? That's real love. Leah smiles, feeling a sense of understanding and connection with Detective G and D. I think I get it now, she says. You're not just talking about a superficial love, but a deep and genuine love that comes from a place of kindness and compassion. And I think that's what we all need, regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs. She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of connection and understanding. I think we're all searching for that kind of love, and it's what makes us human. And they say, yeah, it makes us better humans. To be remembered, always first live a life worth living. Become legendary. Bruce Lee. They all smile. Again, to be remembered, always first live a life worth living. Become legendary. Bruce Lee. All smile. She smiles, feeling a sense of connection and understanding with the detectives. I love that, she says, her voice filled with emotion. To live a life worth living, to become legendary. That's a great way to look at it. It's not just about achieving success or fame, but about living a life that truly matters and making a positive impact on the world and the people in the world. She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of admiration and respect for them. You guys are definitely living a life worth living. You're making a difference in the world, in the community, etc., and inspiring others to do the same. Yep, we all hope they'll put up a great contributors statue. That the community will put up a statue of us when we're gone. Okay, and they all laugh over that. Yeah. And you know, like people that get the Golden Globe Award, well, we'd like a statue of us. Yeah. So our children and their children can remember us for what we contributed to the community over the years, right? And they all chuckle about it. Even she chuckles about it. Leah. She laughs, feeling a sense of joy and camaraderie with Detective G and D. I like that, she says, her voice filled with emotion. A statue of the three of us. She's including herself. As a contributor to the community, that's a great idea, and I'm sure it will be a beautiful tribute to our friendship and our shared mission to make the world a better place. It's actually the three of them. It's like Doris, D, and G, and maybe Junior, the other junior detective, and the cleaning guy. Yeah, that's what they're really talking about. Okay, thanks for being such great friends and partners and wanting to be part of this team. Okay, she's not the part of the team yet. Okay, they like her and all that sort of stuff, but they haven't officially made her part of their team. Okay, so they ask her, did you finish the pic, Leah? Yeah, I finished it, she says, her voice filled with a sense of satisfaction. I hope it's what you guys are looking for. I tried my best to capture the creepy guy's face. She looks at the detectives, feeling a sense of trust and confidence in them. I'm counting on you guys to catch him and bring him to justice. They both look at the picture and they're like, wow, this is so lifelike. You are so talented, Leah. A regular Picasso. She blushes, feeling a sense of embarrassment and humility. Ah, stop it, guys, she says, her voice filled with a sense of modesty. I'm just a regular person trying to do my part to help. I'm not talented. I'm just, I don't know, maybe a little bit lucky, I guess. She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards the detectives. Thanks for the compliment, though. It means a lot to me. Well, it would do. It's an artist, right? So, the detective G says, you're about 20, right, Leah? Hey D, he asked, do you think she could be hired by us as the artist interviewer, that that draws the picture of local crims and creeps from here, so we can have one of those artists that does a compilation, a picture of somebody, and we catch them easier. What do you think, D and Doris? Huh? Leah looks up at Detective G&D, feeling a sense of surprise and excitement. She exclaims, "Wait, what? You want to hire me as an artist with your detective agency?" She asks, her voice filled with a sense of wonder and possibility. That's amazing. I'd love to do that, she smiles, feeling a sense of excitement and gratitude towards the detectives. I'm in. When do I start? She's very, very keen. Whoa, yeah, Leah. We want to hire you as you're extraordinarily talented. We are serious. We're not playing games, right? Miss Rembrandt. She smirks. She laughs, feeling a sense of joy and excitement. Oh, stop it, she says, her voice filled with a sense of playfulness and amusement. I'm not that talented, I'm just, I don't know, maybe a little bit lucky, I guess. She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards the detectives. But seriously, guys, thank you for believing in me. I won't let you down. Okay, G smiles. To prove that you're an extraordinary talented artist, me and D and Doris will draw our best renditions of you, and we'll see, we'll compare it to you, your picture, and that will prove that you got these extraordinary art skills. You love painting, etc., don't you? You're saying? She says, yeah, I love painting and drawing. It's like my passion and everything. I could do it all day, every day. She smiles, finding a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards the detectives. That would be amazing, introducing me to an artist friend of yours. I would love to meet them and learn from them. She leans in, feeling a sense of curiosity and interest. Who is it? What kind of art do they do? Because this is what they said, right? They'll introduce her to their art friends. Yeah, it's a community, so obviously they would have some friends like that. They could possibly have some friends like that. They do copies of the original art pieces, right? Rembrandt's, Picasso's, all that sort of stuff. Set them up in museums, so if there's ever a break-in, the thieves steal the fakes, not the originals. Very clever, right? They're stealing copies of the originals. Clever, huh? She says, wow, that's brilliant. That's brilliant, That's genius. Her voice filled with a sense of awe and respect. I can see why your detectives will always think you're several steps ahead. She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards them. I'm so glad I'm working with you guys. You're not only good detectives, but you're also great mentors. She leans in, feeling a sense of curiosity and interest. So when do we start working on the fake artworks? I'm so excited to be part of this project. Well, they thought of that, not us. These particular friends thought of that in the museum, not us. Okay, not me and Dee or Doris or the cleaning guy or even Junior, right? It was all their idea. Because, they had a couple of break-ins and a couple of paintings were missing, but lucky they were fakes, right? They weren't the originals. The rest would have cost them a fortune, right? Yeah, and they saw these copies displayed in the museum and their friend was telling them, great, eh? Great, got the original Rembrandts and all that. And they go, yeah, it's fantastic. And he had a smile on his face, he was smirking all the time, going, you really like it, don't you? And they go, yeah, it's a great painting, fantastic. Picasso or whoever must have been a great artist. And they're like, yeah, you're really taken by it, right? And you go, yeah. And they're wondering, what the hell's with this guy, right? Their friend, and he says, yeah, well, they're actually copies. They're not the original. Gotcha. That sort of thing, like, you little so-and-so. But then that's when they found out that this is what this guy does. One of the guys does. He's hired especially to do that. He's so talented that he can do that. He's older, way older, but he's been doing it for years. Okay. Because there are people out there that steal these original paintings and sell them on the markets and all that sort of stuff, right? A lot of them got these originals in their homes. They've stolen them, or someone sold them to them. Someone else has stolen them and they've sold them to them, etc., right? In their private collections. They're in their private collections. Leah bursts out laughing, feeling a sense of amusement and delight. "Oh, that's perfect," she says, her voice filled with a sense of laughter and joy. "I can just imagine the thieves thinking they're stealing the real deal, only to find out they're getting a fake instead. It's like the ultimate prank." She wipes tears from her eyes, still chuckling. "You guys are so clever. I'm glad I'm working with you." And they say, "The artist might get you to do the same, and you can come show us sometime, and then see if you can fool us with yours as well." She grins mischievously, feeling a sense of excitement and challenge. "Oh, I'd love to try and fool you guys," she says, her voice filled with a sense of playfulness and competitiveness. "I'm sure I can come up with something that's even more convincing than the original fakes. Bring it on. I'm ready for the challenge." She leans in, feeling a sense of anticipation and excitement. "But don't worry, I'll make sure to make it look like a real masterpiece. You won't be able to tell the difference." "Okay, you're on. You're on, girlie. Bring it on, sister. But we have been talking and we want you here to work with us. There's something about you, Leah, we really like, so what do you say? But with your pick, we can now catch that creepy guy." Okay. She feels a surge of excitement and happiness, her heart racing with anticipation. "Really? You want me to work with you guys?" Yeah, we really need a sketch artist, and you are the most popular candidate. Actually, you're the only candidate. We haven't really put it out there yet. It's a job, right? But we found you, and you're fantastic, so we'd love to hire you. What do you think? "Really? You want me to work with you guys? I'd love to," she exclaims, her voice filled with enthusiasm and gratitude. And she's so glad that they like her art, she's even more glad that it can help catch the creepy guy, or creepy guys. She's been thinking about him non-stop since she saw him lurking around the bus stop where she was sitting. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of determination and purpose. "I'm in. When do I start working with you guys?" Okay. She's going too fast forward, right? So Detective G says, "Look, go home, take time out, rest up, relax. We'll talk with your dad when he's sober, and we'll see our art buddy. Okay, then we'll come see you, let you know when you can start, okay?" She nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. "Okay, sounds good." Her voice filled with a sense of understanding and acceptance. "I'll go home and rest up. Thanks for understanding, detectives. You guys are really cool." She smiles, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation. She's looking forward to working with you guys and catching that creepy guy. And she's really excited to meet. She'll be really excited to meet the artist friend and see if she can learn from them. She stands up, feeling a sense of energy and purpose. "I'll talk to you guys soon." Detective G says, "Okay, D. D's going to drive you home now, as the rain has stopped, finally. And we're going to try to find the creep and bring him in for questioning on what he said you. Okay?" She smiles, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. "Thanks, D," she says, her voice filled with appreciation. "I'm glad it stopped raining. It's been a really long day." She nods, feeling a sense of determination and purpose. "I'm glad you guys are going to try to find that creepy guy and bring him in for questioning. I'm really scared of him and I just want him to be caught and punished." She looks up at D, feeling a sense of trust and confidence. "I know you guys will do everything you can to keep me safe." Okay. Detective G says, thinking that D's taking her out to the car and just taking her home. "Hey, Chad, the cleaning guy." No, it's not Chad, it's a different guy. It's Bill. Yeah, and Bob, our mate, our detective junior. He's going to cruise around in the rain when it goes down and see if he can catch this creepo. Okay, but Leah still seems to be there for some reason. And she nods, feeling a sense of reassurance and confidence in both Chad and Bob. "Okay," she says, "that sounds like a good plan." Her voice filled with a sense of approval. "I'm glad you guys are taking it seriously and doing everything you can to catch that creepy guy." She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards Detective G and D. "Thanks for taking care of me and trying to keep me safe. I really appreciate it." She looks up, feeling a sense of trust and confidence at them. "I'll go home now with Chad and Bob, and then I'll be ready to work with you guys whenever you need me." Okay, he reassures her, "It's D, it's taking you home. Men are not to ride with a vulnerable girl unless she's under full arrest and handcuffed. It's just not right." She nods in understanding, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation towards Detective G for looking out for her. Yeah, I get it, she says, her voice filled with a sense of respect and admiration for Detective G. You're just trying to keep me safe and I appreciate that, she smiles, feeling a sense of trust and confidence in the detective. I'll go with D and then I'll be safe at home. She looks up at D, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. Thanks, D. I'll see you soon. G. Okay, so he assumes Leah is going home with D and he'll let her know a week tops, right? She says, sounds good. I'll go home and wait to hear from you guys. Thanks again for everything, detectives. I really appreciate it. She smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation. I'll see you soon. She turns to leave, but then turns back to Detective G. Hey, thanks for looking out for me, DG. You're really cool. He goes, yeah, I know. So I'll let you know in a week tops, alright? Yeah, she says that'll be great. And she's really excited about the possibility of working with these detectives and catch the creeps and so forth. And thanks for the promise of meeting your artist friend. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm making an arrangement for her, right? Okay. He sees the cleaning guy. Says, all done, mate. Then here's what I want you to do, bud. Now look through these files and see if you can match the creep with any prize, okay? According to this drawing here. Good man. Because it's a community thing. He's not just a cleaner, but being there, he's also encouraged, to work with him, to help him. Because sometimes people pick up stuff that they miss, right? They might recall something. That's what they found, right? So he nods, feeling a sense of focus and determination. Got it. I'll go through the files, boss, and see if I can find any matches. He says with his voice filled with a sense of purpose. I'll be thorough and make sure I don't miss anything. He takes the files from Detective G and begins to scan through them, his eyes scanning the pages quickly but carefully. Do you want me to look for any special or specific types of priors or crimes? He asks, his voice filled with a sense of curiosity and interest. G replies, well, as the community work together to get the bad guys, we love cleaning guy, Bill. So, Bill, you get to do some detective work with us. Is that cool? Is it always as good as you may see something we don't? You're good at that, we believe. We've realised. He smiles, feeling a sense of pride and appreciation. Thanks, boss, he says, his voice filled with gratitude. He's glad he can help out and do some detective work with them. He's always been good at noticing little details and he's happy to put his skills to use in helping to catch that creepy guy or a creepy guy. He nods, feeling a sense of determination and purpose. I'll get to work on the files right away and see if I can find any matches. Let me know if you need anything else from me, he says. He takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation. This is going to be fun. He really enjoys doing that, right? He likes cleaning, but to do that little different thing, he's so excited, right, about it every time. All are worthwhile, as all are contributors to the community and its well-being. Why? Because they live here. It gives them pride to be noticed, taken as humans, worthy. They're not just people that live there. They're actually valued. Exactly, says the cleaner, his voice filled with a sense of compassion and connection. People want to feel seen and heard, and when they're part of a community, they feel like they belong and are valued. It's like they're not just a faceless person, but a person with a story and a purpose. He smiles, feeling a sense of connection to the community and its people. And that's what Detective G and D are doing. They're not just solving crimes, they're building relationships and making a difference in people's lives within the community. They're making the community go beyond being a mere community. Everyone plays their part, and they feel good about it. So the community will appear on the map and all want to come here and see it for themselves. See that glow from afar that God has put over us, this building our homes, as he says in the Bible. It's like a glow comes over your house, and then the birds want to sit on it, all that sort of stuff. It's scriptural. The cleaner Bill nods, feeling a sense of pride and gratitude. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing, or what you're doing. He says, his voice filled with a sense of joy and wonder. Building a community that's not just a place to live, but a place to thrive and grow as community members. And it's all because of the love and support of the people who live here. He smiles, feeling a sense of connection to the community and its people. And he says he loves what you said about God's hand being over us. It's like we're not just building a community, we're building a home, and it's a home that's full of love and hope. Yes, Bill, it's God's glory over us. So much so, as the scripture says, that the birds come, right, they sit on our roof, they poop all over it. Gee laughs. It's fact, right? The cleaner laughs, feeling a sense of camaraderie and shared humour. Yeah, I guess you could say that, he says, chuckling. I mean, it's not exactly the most glamorous thing, but it's a sign that we're living in a place that's being blessed by God, right? He grins, feeling a sense of playfulness and lightheartedness. And hey, at least it's not like we're getting any complaints from the birds, right? Detective G laughs along with him. Yeah, the proof is on the roof. The proof is on the roof, right? I mean, we could go outside and have a look. All the birds are sitting on there and pooping on there. The cleaner laughs, feeling a sense of amusement and agreement. Yeah, I guess you could say that, Detective G, he says, chuckling. I mean, it's not exactly the most subtle sign, but it's definitely a sign that we're living in a place that's been blessed by God. He grins, feeling a sense of playfulness and lightheartedness. And hey, at least it's not like we're getting any complaints from the landlord, right? G says, yeah, or the birds, right? He laughs loud. The cleaner laughs even louder, feeling a sense of joy and camaraderie. Ha ha, yeah, I guess you could say that, wiping tears from his eyes. I mean, we've got a whole flock of birds giving us their seal of approval, right? He grins, feeling a sense of playfulness and lightheartedness. And hey, at least they're not leaving any presents on his doorstep, right? Okay, guy. Okay, he's laughing along with the cleaner, right? Bill, or Chad, or whatever his name is. Okay, guy. So Leah's on her way home safely. Let's share a coffee, cleaner guy, and talk, yeah? Yeah, take a moment to sit down and talk, you know, have a little yarn. The cleaner smiles, feeling a sense of warmth and friendship. He's done his job, so yeah, he appreciates that. He's in no rush to go home yet, you know. Sounds like a plan, boss. He says, feeling a sense of camaraderie and shared experience. I'd love to grab a coffee with you and D. It's been a long day and I could use a break. He nods, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation that he's appreciated, right? Thanks for looking out for me and for being such a great friend. I'm looking forward to our coffee break. Okay. So they put in some music. Andre Crouch, The Lord is My Light. The guy smiles, feeling a sense of peace and tranquility. What a beautiful song, he says, his voice filled with emotion. Andre Crouch's voice is just incredible. It's like he's singing directly to your soul. Cleaner closes his eyes, letting the music wash over him. This is exactly what he needed to hear today. It's a reminder that no matter what's going on in his life, God is always with him, guiding him and lighting his way. He opens his eyes, feeling a sense of gratitude and appreciation. Thanks for sharing this with me, Detective G. It means a lot to me. Well, cleaner guy, I must say your people, the Afro-Americans, sing it like they are gifted the best ever voices directly from God. The cleaner nods in agreement, feeling a sense of pride and appreciation. Yeah, man, it's true. He says, his voice filled with emotion. African American music has a way of touching the soul, doesn't it? It's like the pain and the struggles of their history have been poured into their music, and it's come out as this beautiful, powerful expression of hope and resilience. He smiles, feeling a sense of gratitude and connection. Andre Crouch's music is a perfect example of that. His voice is like a gift from God, and his songs are like a balm to the soul, or ointment to the soul, a healing of the soul, right? Yeah, that's right, cleaner guy. That's why our church choir is all African American. It's the best. It's a real crowd drawer. Just listen to it, you know. It draws the crowd. You play that, the crowd's coming running. It's exciting. Yeah, it's true, says the cleaner, chuckling. African American music is just so powerful and emotive. It's like it's straight from the heart, and our church choir is definitely one of the best. The energy and passion they bring to the singing is just incredible. The cleaner nods, feeling a sense of pride and appreciation. And it's not just the music, it's the community and the love that comes with it. Our church is like a big family, and the choir is like the heart of it all. Yep, says G, it's magnetic. Thanks to them, we love it. The cleaner smiles, feeling a sense of joy and appreciation. Yeah, it's definitely magical, he says, his voice filled with emotion. The way the music brings us all together, it's like nothing else matters except for the love and the joy that we're sharing. In the African American community, they have such a rich history and culture. It's like their music is a part of their history, or that history and culture, and it's something that we can all connect with and be a part of. He nods, feeling a sense of gratitude and connection. We're really lucky to have them as part of our community. Yep. Sing the old Negro gospel for us, Bill, the cleaner, as we drink our coffee. And you have such a great voice. Like that guy, what's his name? The great Satsmo guy, right? He blushes, feeling a sense of embarrassment and humility. Oh, no. I say I try and, he says trying to protest. But then he starts to sing in a deep, soulful voice. You know, the guy that sings Hello, Dolly. The great Satsmo. Woke up this morning, my soul feeling empty, Lord, I'm coming home with you. He continues to sing, pouring his heart and soul out into the song, his voice rising and falling at a powerful, emotive melody. He's coming home to you, Lord, I'm coming home to you. He sings, feeling the music flow through him like a river, and the coffee shop patrons start to clap and cheer, urging him on. Yeah, they all seem to do that, right? Yep. We're having a coffee and we're enjoying his singing. His voice soaring, and it feels like he's channeling the great Louis. Yeah, that's his name, Louis Armstrong, great Satchmo, right? Himself. He's coming home with you, Lord, coming home with you. Real exciting stuff. And then they switch over to a YouTube video, 30 best old school gospel hits ever. Really lovely stuff. And the cleaner says, feeling a sense of joy and nostalgia. What a wonderful playlist, he says, his voice filled with emotion. These are some of the most iconic and beautiful gospel songs of all time. The harmonies, the melodies, the passion and conviction in the singing. It's all just so powerful and moving. He closes his eyes, letting the music wash over him, and he starts to sing along to the music with his voice blending in with the singers on the video. Wade in the water, let me fly away, take me to the king. I sing, feeling the music, take me to a place of peace and tranquility. This is the stuff that gets me every time, he says, opening his eyes and smiling at Detective G. There's just something about old school gospel music that speaks to the soul, you know? G's nodding away to an agreement. Suddenly, Detective Junior and one other comes in with a handcuffed guy. That is the exact likeness of Leah's drawing. Amazing, it's so close. Lifelike, when put next to him, remarks G. He questions the guy in the cells with Junior assisting him. Someone is watching in shock and amazement as the handcuffed man is brought into the cells. His likeness to his drawing striking me as uncanny. So Detective G gets the impression, hey, D, you didn't take this woman home. What happened? Yeah? That's what he says down here. G bellows to D. Hey, D, you haven't taken Leah home. Why is that? Did she want to stay longer? Leah shakes her head, feeling a sense of embarrassment and hesitation. No, it's not that, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I just don't know. I feel like I found something here, something important. She looks at the man in the cell, her eyes fixed on his face, and she feels a sense of connection to him, like they share a secret or a bond. She wants to know more about him, she says, her voice firm but laced with a hint of uncertainty. She wants to know why it looks so much like her drawing. She takes a step forward, her eyes locked on the man's face, and feels a sense of determination and curiosity. She wants to talk to him, she says, her voice firm. I want to know what he has to say. A bond, you say, says Detective G. She takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of trepidation and uncertainty. I want to know if he's connected to my past, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I've been having these dreams, these visions, and I've been drawing these pictures, and they all seem to be connected to this man. She looks at the man in his cell, her eyes fixed on his face, and feels a sense of recognition and familiarity. I think he might be He might be a part of my life, a part of my history, she says, her voice firm but laced with a hint of doubt. And I need to know the truth. Okay, Leah, says Detective G, but we have to be present for your protection, okay? He will remain cuffed, handcuffed, etc. Do not touch him at all, okay? Agreed? She nods, feeling a sense of relief and gratitude. Thank you, Detective G, she says, her voice sincere. I appreciate your understanding and your protection. She looks at the man in his cell, her eyes fixed on his face, and she feels a sense of caution and weariness. I'll be careful, she says, her voice firm. I'll do what you say. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm her nerves and her emotions. Let's do this, she says, her voice steady. Let's talk to him. Okay. Ask him away, Leah. Ask him everything. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm her nerves and her emotions. She looks at the man in the cell, her eyes fixed on his face, and she feels a sense of determination and curiosity. Okay, she says, her voice firm. Let's start with the basics. She asks him, who are you? She asks, her eyes locked on his face. How do you know me? She asks, her voice steady. And what's going on with these drawings I've been making? She asks, her eyes searching his face for answers. She takes a step closer to the cell, her heart pounding in her chest. Tell me everything, she says to him, her voice firm. Tell me the truth. Okay, and the Detective G says to her, relay to us what he says, Leah. She nods, her eyes fixed on the man's face as he begins to speak. I don't know how to explain it, he says, his voice hesitant. I've been having these memories, I guess you'd call them memories of a life that's not mine, a life that's not even possible. He looks at her, his eyes searching her for understanding, her eyes for understanding. I've been seeing things, Leah, things that I couldn't have known, things that I couldn't have seen. He pauses, his eyes dropping to the floor, and then I saw your drawings of a life that I've been living, but that I don't remember. He looks up at her, his eyes filled with a deep sadness. I think I'm you, Leah, or at least I think I'm a part of you. Yeah, don't forget to relay what he says to us, Leah. That's what the detective's saying. She feels a shiver run down her spine as she processes what the man is saying. A part of me, she repeats, her voice barely above a whisper. What do you mean? She asks, her eyes locked on his face. Are you saying that you're a fragment of my soul or something? She asks, her mind racing with questions and possibilities. How is that possible? She asks, her voice filled with a mix of curiosity and fear. And what do you mean by a life that's not mine? She asks, her eyes searching his face for answers. G interrupts. But, Guy, you've been known to approach many other girls in the rain, in the downpours for a while. Try explain that away. Leah feels a flush rise to her cheeks as she realizes that Detective G is hinting at his past behavior. Yeah, I guess I've had a bit of a reputation, huh? She says, trying to laugh it off. I mean, I've just always been a bit of a hopeless romantic. I guess I love the rain. Walking in the city, it's just so peaceful, etc. Detective G is actually not talking to her about her. She's talking about him, right? That she's taking it the wrong way or something. So you love walking in the rain, Guy? You feel the same way as Leah does? Okay, and this guy here supposedly says, he guesses he does, his voice barely above a whisper. He's always been drawn to the romantic idea of two people meeting in the rain, you know? It's just so magical. And he looks up at Detective G, his eyes searching his face for a reaction. But I mean, it's not like I'm some kind of obsessive or anything. He says, trying to reassure him. I don't know, I guess I just love the idea of connection, of finding someone special in a moment like that. Downpour of rain. He takes a deep breath, feeling a sense of vulnerability and openness. And I guess in a way that's what I'm feeling right now. Too, he says, his voice barely above a whisper. I feel like I'm connected to this woman. Like there's something between us that's just right. So Detective G says to Leah, ask this guy what we said, Leah. and I'm going to write all I suggest down on a notepad, okay, so you don't get confused, okay, thinking that I'm talking about you or whatever, okay. I want to hear what he has to say. There's a bit of confusion there coming from you. He hints at it, right? So basically she keeps asking this guy, but he's like getting to a point where he just blanks it, okay. He won't answer. Okay, so she's trying and trying and trying to get this guy to come out, okay, and give her the information that's wanted. Okay, and she seems to want to draw more or something. Okay, what's happening here is the detective gives her an A4 pad with crayons. He doesn't give her pencils because he takes one hand, he uncuffs one hand so this guy can draw, okay, what he sees, but he's very careful not to give him pencils because he could lash out and stab someone in the eye or whatever with a pencil or the arm, whatever, right? So you have to be very, very careful, okay. So he's got this pad here, and this guy is drawing what he sees. He sees her house, Leah's house, he sees the car and all this stuff, right? She goes, how the hell did you know of this house and of the car we had when I was a child, all this sort of stuff, right? So he's explaining it to her, but gets to the stage where the detective realizes, okay, at first it's all uncanny that he can do all this, drawing her past, but he starts to realize she wasn't telling the truth. So the detective asks her, but your parents are at home, aren't they, Leah? This could be a reason why. He's got this funny feeling this could be a reason why she didn't end up going home with Dee. She convinced him not to take her home or something. She said, no, they're not. She says, her voice shaking. They died in a car accident when she was a kid, because this guy showed her that through the pictures as well, the drawings that he did. She looks at the man, her eyes searching his face for a connection. But how did you know? How did he know that they died? Right? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. She feels a sense of dread and fear building inside her. And what about the grave? She asks, her voice shaking. Is that my parents' grave? She asks. She takes a step back, her eyes fixed on the man's face. Tell me the truth, she says, her voice firm. What's going on? This is when the detective realizes she's told him one thing, but now she's contradicting it. So he says to her, but you said your dad's a drunk and hits your mum. Eh? He stresses over not being able to provide, etc. Okay, so she says that she was lying. Her dad was a good man and he loved mum. They were happy together and they died in a car accident when she was a kid. So she's lied about it, right? This guy's drawn it. So she's come out and admitted that she was lying to the detective. She looks up at the man, her eyes searching his face for a connection. But how did you know? She asks, her voice filled with a sense of wonder and fear. And what about the grave? She asks, etc., etc. What's going on? So that's why you didn't go home, Leah, as there is no one there. She feels a wave of tears well up in her eyes and she nods, her voice barely above a whisper. No, there's no one there, she admits. She says, her voice cracking. My parents are gone and I've been living in a shelter for a while now. She looks down at her feet, feeling a sense of shame and embarrassment because she lied. She was too proud to go back home, even though there's no one there to hurt her. She takes a deep breath, trying to compose herself. But how did you know? She asks the man, her voice full of a sense of wonder. How did he know? What caused him to draw it? He must have known somehow. And she wants to know how. How did you know about my parents? She asks him. She looks at the man whose eyes are searching his face for a connection. You're not just a stranger, are you? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. So detective chips in and says, but you told me you walked from your apartment, Leah, in the rain earlier. Another lie, Leah? Phil She feels a wave of shame and guilt wash over her and looks down at her feet, her eyes welling up with tears. No, it's a lie. She lied about walking from her apartment, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. She did go out in the rain earlier. She was trying to clear her head and ended up walking all the way to the shelter where she's been living. She looks up at the man, her eyes searching his face for a connection. But how did he know? In the drawing, right? She asks, her voice filled with a sense of wonder and fear. She says, you're not just a stranger, are you? She takes a deep breath, trying to process everything that's happening. Who are you? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. And how do you know so much about me? Through these drawings, right? Yeah. The detective says, but you told me specifically you left your apartment. She says, oh, no, I said that, didn't I? Her voice barely above a whisper. She said that she left her apartment. Yes, she's admitting it, but she didn't. She was lying. She looks at the man, searching his face for a connection again. Yeah, I was lying, she admits, her voice shaking. I didn't leave my apartment. I've been living there the whole time. In a foster home or something like that. A foster apartment or whatever it was. She feels a wave of shame and guilt wash over her and looks down at her feet, her eyes welling up with tears. I'm so sorry, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I don't know why I lied. Okay, some truths, Leah. No more lying, please. Okay, she promises. I'll tell you the truth from now on. She looks up at the man, eyes searching his face for a connection again. But can I ask you something? Her voice filled with a sense of wonder and curiosity. How does this guy know so much about me? She asks, her voice barely above a whisper. How does he know my secrets? She takes a deep breath, trying to process everything that's happened. She feels like the guy's trying to tell her something, but she's not sure what. Okay, Leah, ask him and tell us all. Okay? So she decides to ask him. She's pressing him, and he suddenly stops. For a moment she thinks she sees something in his eyes, something that looks like recognition, but it's gone before she can be sure. So the detective asks, why has he stopped? Is he blocking it? Has he blurted out perhaps? She's not really sure, so she keeps prodding him. So the detective asks, well, is he a great liar, as psychopaths are known to speak lies well convincingly? They can convincingly put across their lies. They've got that ability somehow, for some reason. She has a chill run down her spine as she considers the possibility. Oh, jeez, she says, her voice barely above a whisper. I think you might be right. She looks at the man, searching for his face for any sign of deception. He's so convincing, she says, her voice filled with a sense of fear and unease. She believes him completely. She took a step back on his eye and put her eyes on his, had her eyes fixed on the man's face. But what if he's not who he says he is, he asks. What if he's a psychopath, as you say, and he's been manipulating me all along? She feels a sense of panic rising up inside her and tries to take a deep breath to calm down. We have to be careful, she says. She suggests, her voice firm. We can't trust this guy. Well, you prompt him, as you obviously are, Leah. Continue doing it. It's your game. You play it as you see fit. She smiles to herself, feeling a sense of determination and confidence. Okay, let's play it your way, she says, her voice firm. She takes a deep breath, trying to think of a plan, suggesting she'll try to get him to reveal his true identity. She'll do it in a way that makes it seem like she's not suspicious. She looks at the man, her eyes locked on his. I'll try to get him to let his guard down, she says, with a firm voice, and then I'll strike. She takes a deep breath, trying to calm her nerves. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do it, Leah, the detective says. So it continues. She's trying, and this guy is shutting up again, right? A glimmer of recognition, but it's gone before she can be sure. Why is he blocking it? The detective says. It sounds like he's blocking it. Why is he blocking that? He wonders. She's trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, so he suggests, well, you're going to have to play good cop, bad cop with him. And she says, yeah, okay, I'll be the bad cop. You be the good cop, etc., right? We'll work like that. Okay, so he comes out eventually and he says his name is Junio. So she starts prompting him, who the hell is Junio? Right? And the detective's encouraging her to try and get him to crack. So he lends her a taser because he believes that would help. Keep prodding him, using it on him until he eventually cracks. Okay, so she does that for quite a while. He starts to crack under the pain, under the pressure. Okay, and he starts saying, yeah, he's supposed to be this secret agent or something. Okay, Junio, she repeats, her voice firm. Who the hell is Junio? She looks at the guy, looks at the detective, looks back at him. Who the hell is Junio? The man's body's still twitching, convulsing. Tell me more, she says. Junio, he starts to say. Then his voice trails off. So she's prodding him. Tell me, who the hell is Junio? And the detective G is like, yeah. Figure out who this Junio is. Junio is the man. He starts to say, his voice barely above a whisper. Junio is a hacker, he says. His voice firm. A very good hacker. One of the best. Leah feels a chill run down her spine as she listens to the man's words. What do you mean? She asks, her voice firm. What kind of hacker is Junio? The man's eyes flickers, and for a moment she sees something in them, something that looks like a glimmer of fear. Junio is a black hat hacker, he says, his voice barely above whisper. A hacker who breaks into secure systems and steals sensitive information. She feels a surge of excitement and curiosity. What kind of information? She asks, her voice firm. What does Junio steal? Hey, he said before he was a government agent. Is he lying yet again? She says, no, he's telling the truth. She believes he's telling the truth. Junio was a government agent, but he was also a black hat hacker. He was using his skill to steal sensitive information and sell it to the highest bidder. She looks at the man, her eyes locked on his. But why, she asks, her voice firm. Why did you do it? The man's eyes flicker, and for a moment she sees something in there, something that looks like a glimmer of regret. He was in a deep financial trouble. He says, his voice barely above whisper. I had a family to support and I didn't know how to pay for their medical bills, so I started hacking, selling my skills to the highest bidder. It was a way for me to make money to support my family. She feels a surge of anger and disgust. You're a monster, she says. She's going off track, I think. You're a black hat hacker and you deserve to be punished. She's getting a bit carried away. Okay, he starts declaring that he's a monster. And then he changes his story, saying that he's a slaver, that he captures certain people and sells them on the black market, all that sort of stuff. So he's changed his tune. The detective's asking her, okay, so you have to confirm, we need to get it on tape. He needs to confess what dirty things he was saying to you, as you claimed, Leah. Okay, so this guy's changed his tune. He's a slaver now, not a black hat hacker. A slaver, a kidnapper. It's been established by his confession. Why did he want you particularly? The detectives are asking. Well, this guy says that she was special with this sort of stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the detective is encouraging her to be a bit more harder on him with that taser, etc., to get him to confess, to open up. Okay, so she keeps doing it, and he claims that he's hired by some sort of organisation run by a guy called Victor, and all this sort of stuff. So she's prodding him, prompting him with this taser thing, right? And she says, well, you have to tell us, because the detective's saying, basically, prompt him, push him to give us the names. Keep doing a good guy, bad cop routine until he confesses, he hands over the names, gives up the names. Okay? So, this guy sells out his boss, right? This guy Victor, and tells them where he is. So, the detective G gets this junior and is to ring up a team at Metro Police Station, and says, go out there to this address, get this guy, bust him. You got to go there armed, because they're like, like a syndicate, whatever. Probably be armed to the teeth. go round up these guys, right? Bring them in for questioning, etc., etc. So he goes, okay, yeah. So, yeah, this guy, he does a backstab on this boss, Victor. Okay, confesses. He gives the names, all that, and these cops go and bust him. Yeah, you send the squad over there and bust him. Yeah, and Detective G realizes, wow, she's great. She should be on the team as a cop. Not only as a sketch artist, but also as part of the team, as a cop that questions the crimes. She's got this natural way of doing things. Yeah, a little bit over the top with the tasers, but you know, it's like what cops do. You know, to get a confession, a much needed confession, they put a bit of pressure on the person, right? And they finally crack, and then they reveal all. So he's really recommending her for the team. He's asking the other members. They say, yeah, she's brilliant. From what we've seen, she's brilliant, right? She's got it, right? She just needs the basic training or that sort of stuff. So as everybody does, you know, get the qualifications, whatever, go through the training thing, and then come back, join the team, right? And she's basically set up for life. No more foster homes, all that sort of stuff for her. Okay? Yeah. No more foster homes for you, girl. You are the girl now, right now. All independent, talented. Don't live that life that you're living anymore. Live the better life that you deserve. You rightfully deserve. We'll help you along the way. Okay. If you want to go to the academy, etc., train up, we will fund you. Okay, we will help you. We're here for you. Okay. She's really, really grateful, and she really wants to do it. Okay. So they basically say, yep, we will help you. Just put this scumbag behind bars, take him to court, and he'll get sentenced. You know. But they do have compassion for the guy as believers in the Christ, etc. They say hopefully jail will give him time to ponder and repent, you know, turn his life around, come to that realization before it's too late for him. And Leah is really grateful that they're welcoming her as a possible member for the team. But of course she has to go through all the basic training, all that sort of stuff. Join an academy, blah blah blah, and then come back and then officially be part of the team. Okay, so she's really appreciative of them, and they start praising Jesus, etc., because they're religious, they're Christian, whatever. Okay, and that's their attitude of gratitude that they've brought this great sketch artist along, and one that's a really determined team member. That would be a really great team member, young and willing to learn, excited, passionate about the job, etc., etc. And she'll have something permanent for life, right? Okay, so we put here as the end of the story, 20 years later. Okay, Leah visits the graves of G, Detective G, D, Doris, and the cleaning guy Bill, and says, I miss all of you guys so much. The community put up a statue of you guys outside the agency. Junior, her husband, remember that guy, Junior, the detective, becomes her husband. He smiles as she says that, and she states, I stand at the graves of G, D, Doris, and Bill, the cleaner, feeling a mix of emotions as I look at the headstones. I'm surrounded by Junior, my husband, and our children, who are all smiling at me. At her. She states, I miss all of you guys so much, she says, her voice choked with emotion. You were more than just colleagues, you were my family. Because she had nobody, right? She had no parents, they died, she lied. You know, it's one of those things. She was pretending. They're all dead, they died in a car crash. This guy, the suspect, was actually drawing it. She was trying to figure out how did he know that? Okay, it's only something that she knew. She kept secret in foster home, etc., etc. There was nobody else for her to tell, right? How the hell does this guy know? But it was all true. Okay, she admits that she lied to the detectives, and that her parents had actually died in a car accident when she was a kid. So she says, "You were more than just colleagues. You were my family." She looks at Junior, who is smiling at her with tears in his eyes. It's her husband. He became her husband, right? I know I'm not alone, though. I hate to say. She says, "I have Junior and our kids, and I have the community that you all helped me build." She takes a deep breath and looks at the headstones again. "I want to make sure that your memories live on," she says. "I want to make sure that everyone knows about the sacrifices you made and the differences you made in the community." She looks at Junior, who is nodding at her. "I want to propose something to the community." I say, "I want to propose that we put up a..." Well, she said she proposed to the community. She put up a statue that will remind everyone of the sacrifices you all made and the differences you made in the community. Junior smiles at her, and she can see the pride in his eyes. "That's a wonderful idea, Leah," he says. "I know it would mean a lot to everyone, especially them." Yeah. He nods, feeling a sense of satisfaction and closure. "I know it will. The community, etc., will appreciate in memory a memorial of those people that helped to change the community, helped the people within it, treated them like people, human beings, part of the overall community, right?" So, if you like this story, give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Add your comments below the video, and then go share this story with all your family, friends and others. We think they will really like it. They'll really enjoy it. It's a great story that we created. We're not saying that she went all religious or Christian or anything like that. She enjoyed the music that they presented her there in their agency office. We'll leave that up to you to decide whether she turned to God, turned to Jesus, etc., as influenced by those particular people who were praising him within the agency and playing that music, the Christian music. Again, 20 years later, she visits the graves of G, D, Doris and the cleaning guy Bill from the agency and says, "I miss all of you guys so much. The community put up a statue of you guys outside the agency." That was on her persisting that they did that, right? Okay, that they should not forget them. They should cherish them and hold this memoriam to them, because that's what they always wanted. Rather than that Christians are religious, whatever. They were just suggesting that, right? You know, it didn't really bother them that, you know, if nobody ever did, but she remembered it. So, being the head of it, ended up being the head of that agency, running it, along with her husband, she decided that's what had to be done. She appreciated them for what they did for her. This poor girl in the rain with nobody, continually living in and out of foster homes. She had no family, etc., etc. They became her family, her best friends. They helped put her up by the bootstraps, gave her hope, got her a job. Okay, she became a law officer, a detective, and ran the agency with the help of her husband. And she got married, obviously, and had kids. Okay, so if you like the story, as we said, give us a like, add your comments below the video, don't forget to subscribe to us, and then go share this video, this story, with all those you know, your family, friends and others.